Hello, this is the Teaserking coming to you with some analysis and picks for October the 1st and 2nd weekend for college and pro football. I'm not sure what's happening. I'm having problems with recording some of these videos. I'm supposed to get 15 minutes and I'm only it's getting cut short to 4 minutes or 10 minutes, so I apologize for that. It's nothing I'm doing, but just want to keep you apprised of what's happening. If you have any comments or you'd like to email me on comments or questions about games this weekend, please feel free to go to www.teaserking.com, and certainly there's an email there. Just ask me, who do I like in this game or that game? Do I like this team or that, or trends or anything? Be happy to give that out. I'd like to get to this week's picks. Had Pittsburgh last night. That was a good one. A lot of the analysis that goes in is what I look for are either weak favorites, strong favorites, weak dogs, or strong dogs. And I try to put a strong dog with a weak favorite. That's what I had yesterday. South Florida is not a strong dog. They shouldn't be favored going into Pittsburgh, or going into Penn State, or going into Notre Dame. South Florida is not a very good road favorite. They're not that strong of a team. So yesterday worked perfectly. I had a team, South Florida, who's not a strong favorite on the road, I'm talking, go into Pitt, who's a very strong underdog. And that was the basis of the play. So a lot of the games I will pick, I'm either betting against weak favorites, or I'm taking very, very strong dogs, or a very, very strong favorite against a very, very weak dog. An example of the strong favorite weak dog is Stanford laying 20 to UCLA. Stanford is an extremely strong favorite. They're going to go in, they're going to put up 45 points on anybody. And UCLA is a very, very weak dog. They got pounded by Texas at home. Yeah, they beat a really weak Oregon State team last week. This team is not, it's not a good team. Stanford beats them last two times. Stanford beat them pretty good. I look for more of the same here. Stanford's a top 3 team. These rankings are a joke. I mean, I'll give you an example. Florida plays Alabama, and Florida's number 12, and Alabama is number 2 or number 3. And Wisconsin plays Nebraska, which is basically 7 plays 8 or 8 plays 9, depending on the poll. So if Florida wins, and whoever loses the other game, Florida will jump up to 6 or 7 in the poll. Well, it doesn't make any sense. If Florida beats Alabama, who's the 3rd best team, they should be number 3, because why not? I mean, that's how it should work. Even then, is Alabama still the 3rd best team if they lose? Yeah, they still are. Florida beats them, maybe they're the 4th best team after that. Well, what you're saying is Alabama can beat anybody. There's only 2 teams in the country better than them. And that's the joke of the polls, is it's just ludicrous what they do. Anyway, I think it's mostly for ratings and TV and everything. Let's look at a strong dog. I have Wisconsin laying 10 in Nebraska. When I look at the game, I can't believe this spread. It's a joke. It's way too high. I love Nebraska getting 16 points. Top play of the week. It's impossible that, if you look at it, Wisconsin, the best team they beat was Oregon State 35-0. Okay, we'll give them that one. The rest of the teams are nothing. They're Vegas, Northern Illinois. Nebraska doesn't beat anybody good. Look at them in the Rose Bowl. They were running up 50 points a game last year in the Big Ten. They come to the Rose Bowl, and my TCU team takes care of them, beats them 21-19. A good defense always beats a good offense. And that's what I see here. I see Nebraska with this great defense, quality offense, Burkhardt, good running back, Martinez, I don't know how he throws the ball, but he'll run the ball. And that'll cause a low-scoring game, because they're going to run the ball, and they're going to play defense, Nebraska. Wisconsin's not going to rip off 60-yard runs against Nebraska. Don't kid yourself. Think of this as a Nebraska-Ohio State, Wisconsin-Ohio State game, a Wisconsin-Iowa game. They're very close games. Wisconsin does not blow out those teams at home. They are very close. When Michigan was good, Wisconsin never beat them by 20 points. It just never happened. That's what you have here. Nebraska's played Oklahoma. They played Texas. It's not like Nebraska's never played in a big environment before. No way this game gets a blowout. Impossible, unless Nebraska has 7 turnovers. So I love this game. The spread's way too high. You've got a very strong dog, and that's where I like the strong dogs. One other game of interest that this is like a really strange spread, is Baylor laying 3.5 to Kansas State. I look at that game and I go, you've got to be kidding me. Baylor's at least 10 points better than Kansas State. This spread should be 10 to 14 points. Baylor put 50 up on TCU. Nobody puts 50 up on TCU. Like I just said, Wisconsin didn't put 50 up on TCU in the Rose Bowl. Utah doesn't. BYU doesn't. We'll see what Boise does against them. Nobody does this. Kansas State, okay, they beat Miami at Miami. How good's Miami this year? I don't know. They're not normal Miami. They're not Michael Irvin Miami. This is not a very strong Miami team by any stretch of the imagination. So I love Baylor. They're laying 3.5. You get 2.5 with Baylor. Are you kidding me? With this quarterback, he's unbelievable. Baylor's going to put up a 50 on him, maybe a 40 at least. And what's Kansas State going to do? They don't have an offense. They run the ball, but they're okay. They're an average team, but Baylor is much, much better than Kansas State. This spread's a joke. And that's what I look for, is the off spreads. Keep in mind the spread makes the betting even, not the game. So that's what I do, is look for that off thing. A couple more live dogs that are strong dogs are Arkansas, Florida, Clemson, Air Force, and then a couple really, really strong favorites are TCU, Stanford, Arizona State, Tennessee, Cincinnati this week, Boise. Boise I don't know about. Boise has revenge on their mind. Normally I think they'd win the game by 100. Nevada's not that bad. I don't know who they are. They beat San Jose State by 6, and then they go and they should have beat Texas Tech last week, losing 35-34. So I don't know how strong they are. I know they got an experienced quarterback behind. Kaepernick's gone, but they're still running the pistol. They seem to be running the ball. The thing that I don't know about is Boise. All of Boise's injuries. A lot of defensive injuries. Normally I like Boise here. I think they'll put up in their 45, 50 points if he doesn't pull the quarterback again. And Nevada, they're capable of a 20, 30 point game here. I think the spread's too high. I don't see Boise usually I love Boise, but Nevada plays them very close. They don't blow out Nevada too often. And I just find it's too high of a spread. And Boise, it's a revenge game. They'll probably win the game by 40, but it's just too high of a spread in this situation. So that's what I'm looking at. Okay, so who's a strong dog? Who's a really strong home favorite or favorite against a really weak dog? And that's what I look for here. Let's go to the pros real quickly. Game of the week. Dallas is 1.5 over Detroit. Can you possibly explain this spread to me? Because Detroit's a 7-point favorite. It's a joke. This is really, I don't even understand this spread. How can Dallas be favored? The line is a bunch of rookies and second-year men. Sue's going to run right through them. Romo will have no time to pass. They can't run the ball. Romo's got cracked rib. That didn't go anywhere. Against Washington, they had, 6 field goals? They couldn't score a touchdown. And Detroit's defense is much stronger than Washington's, which I never thought I'd say that. But even without Farley, who will be in probably next week against the Bears, I just look at Detroit as a dominating defense. Minnesota ran the ball on them, Adrian Peterson. That's what I wanted to see. And I get that. And that's the weakness of a good pass rushing team, but that's not what you have here. You got Tony Romo going back to pass. How many times will the center not snap the ball in the right count? How many times will Romo drop the ball and throw interceptions? Meanwhile, the Lions on offense, Stafford to Kelvin Johnson to Nate Burleson, and Gerard Best, this is not a normal Lions team. This is an outstanding team. If you forget that they're the Lions, they're like Pittsburgh, or they're like a good Viking team, or a good San Diego or San Francisco team. This is what you have here. You can't base it on Detroit. And this is what you have. So I absolutely love the points. The best trends of the week would be the Green Bay game. Green Bay is 21-2 with their last 23 in a teaser, and they're playing Denver, and Denver is 16-3 their last 19 if you play against them. It's the perfect storm. You have a play team in Green Bay against a play against team Denver. I know the spread's high. I tried to get it under a touchdown. I got it at 12.5, so I'm laying 6.5. Green Bay wins the game by 25 points easily. And the other one would be the Bears in Carolina. You have Chicago 17-4 in the teaser. Great at home against a Carolina team that is 17-2 against. Another perfect storm game of a team that covers all the time against a team that you go against all the time. So those are my 3 top plays of the week. I don't know what to do with Baltimore and the Jets, and I don't know what to do with Oakland and New England. I have conflicting trends there. After last week, I would say that it's probably best to take the dog in the Baltimore Jet game, but it's a huge. Baltimore is a home favorite. It's huge. Just overall, their trends are huge. Oakland and New England, I don't want to start trying to make money going against Tom Brady as bad as he was last week. Oakland at home is very good. This game's even. I think you can take Oakland in the points, but Oakland's a very good team. So I think New England's defense is a little weak. Baltimore and the Jets, I think it's. I don't like Flacco. I don't like Sanchez. They're both weak quarterbacks. And it's really a toss-up there. Maybe the Jets, but hard to go against Baltimore's own favorite. Anyway, that's a quick look at Week 4 for the pros, Week 5 for the college. And please let me know your thoughts and comments on anything. A lot of games going this week. Now I start getting dialed in, and there's always too many college games for me. I could pick 25 college games every week, but I don't want to, it's just too many. So I try to eliminate some. But if you have questions on any, give me a call or give me an email. Or comment here, and I'll give you my opinion and trends and whatever else you want. It's just how I see it. The pros. We had a good week last week. I had a good week last week, 7-1, and again, the only loss was New England this week. I'm not going to overplay it, but I do see a lot, and I stay away from some traps. So I'm trying to stay away from the New England-Oakland game, and maybe Atlanta, very bad, very weak road favorite. You got to be careful with these road favorites. It's very hard for a team to be a road favorite and cover. Only the Green Bays, New Englands, Indies, teams like that who are really strong can do it. So you've got to be aware of that. You see the road favorite, like Minnesota 2 over KC. Yeah, let's jump on Mini. You might jump on them. Just be careful. It's very hard to cover as a road favorite. And that's what you're looking for, is you're going against weak favorites, especially if you can get a strong dog. Anyway, this is the Teaser King. Pleasure to give you my advice and to talk to you and email and everything else. Have a great weekend. Please go to my site, www.teaserking.com. Email me, leave me comments here, and looking for another big weekend. Great. Take care.